Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al, Draftkings Week 11, and I'm going to take a look at some of the top running backs in Week 11 NFL DFS. That is what we are going to do, but we're going to first do it through the lens of the 5-box running back. There are certain trends, certain stats, certain back-tested data that show that running backs outperform their projection if they are playing at home, if they are favored, specifically if they are favored by 7 or more points, if they get 20 touches, if they are involved in the passing game, because targets are worth 2.8 carries in terms of DraftKings scoring on expected points, and if they're getting those inside the 5 carries. Some people call them goal line carries. To me, it's the 0 through the 5-yard line, not just the 1-yard plunges, but how much activity are they getting when their team gets close. You focus on all 5 of those, you find yourself some players typically that are chalk running backs for the week, but sometimes you can uncover a gem that most people aren't on, that's sitting between, I don't know, let's say 5 to 15% on the week, and you can uncover yourself somebody who in tournaments is a great value or leverage play. So thank you guys for being here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, leave me a reply down below with some running backs that you like, because DraftKings has kind of ratcheted the price up a little bit this week at the running back position. So there's not like 10 or 12 guys like we've been spoiled with the last few weeks. So let's get to it.
He's a legend.
I know that basketball season obviously is here, and NFL season's about halfway through. If you guys are playing NBA fantasy, dabbling dipping your toes in the pool, and you wanted to have a better outlook, better projections, a team that puts together all the info you need, the articles, the content, the projections, the video shows, and everything, go check out the great NBA product that they have over at establishtherun.com. Drew Dinkmeyer, Mike Gallagher, and Mike Leone, as well as Andrew Wiggins, high stakes players, guys that have been profitable for a long time, and Mike Gallagher, one of the best NBA reporters that exists in the game today, especially for fantasy purposes. You can get their in-season package for $2.99. If you are a sports betting, if you're somewhere where sports betting is legal, they have a player props package for $2.49. You can get the combo for $4.99. And if you use the link smizzle.tv/ETR, it's down below in the pinned comment. You get 10% off any one of these if you are a new subscriber. So definitely go check out the work that they have over there. Our running backs for the week. Let's start with Nick Chubb. I assume that he is going to be back this week, coming off of the COVID list. We're going to have to monitor this. If he is not, right? If he is not, which I assume he will be, but if he is not, then all of a sudden we have that value once again at running back with Dearness Johnson at 5,600. But I'm going to assume that he is going to get a negative test this week, and he's going to be fine and back on the field. With no Kareem Hunt, we have a fantastic situation for Nick Chubb against Detroit. Massively favored and at home, 10.5 point favorites in this spot, a team total of like 28, 29 points from the Browns. And as great as that offensive line is, and as efficient as any running back can be when given volume behind it, we have the same big splash ability that Jonathan Taylor has given us, that Derrick Henry pre-injury was giving us, and now you have Nick Chubb in this spot as well. And without Kareem Hunt, he has basically seen more targets per game historically, even though we did not see that in weeks 8 or 9. I would expect these targets to trend upward towards 3 or 4, which gives him a much better floor than the 1 or 0 targets that he has gotten on most weeks this year. The Smiz Gang Listener League is something that I do want you guys to go check out. Smizzle.tv/league. 30,000. No, they made it bigger because you guys keep filling it up. There is now 3,250 entries. That's $32,000 plus in the prize pool. Absolutely no rake. $10 to join, 3 max. Get yourselves in there. It's well worth the prize. It's well worth the money. Diontae Foreman. Now, this is a weird situation because I think this has got to trend upward for Diontae Foreman. Now, I've got him listed on 5-box running backs because I think that there is a distinct possibility that he is going to see 20 touches in this game. He may very well fall short. The last 2 weeks, in the absence of Derrick Henry, we have seen them roll out Jeremy McNichols, right? He is the better pass catching back theoretically. And they brought in Adrian Peterson, who has looked the way that we think that a no longer prime era Adrian Peterson has looked. But Foreman has kind of taken over in those 2 weeks, going from like 20% of the snaps to 49% of the snaps the last week in week 10, where he got 5 carries here, no targets. He got 11 and 2. I think that we continue to see him take over this job, and now in a spot where he's not playing against the Rams and looked very good on his carries against the Rams, flashed signs against New Orleans as well. Now they get Houston at home in a game where they should be trending to play from ahead. I think that we could get a much heavier dose of Diontae Foreman. 15 touch floor for me right now with a possibility of reaching up into 20. So Foreman, a great play this week. Christian McCaffrey was where I wanted to go next, but I had moved the wrong thing around. There's no better player in daily fantasy right now or in PPR leagues right now than Christian McCaffrey. You can make arguments at running back for other players. You can say, well, this guy's been a little bit better, or what about this receiver? I'm talking about running backs today. In the 3 games that he has played this year, where he played his normal amount of snaps, week 3, he left this game with an injury. Week 9, he played 50% of the snaps and still scored 14.6 fantasy points on DraftKings. The other 3 games, he has only scored 1 touchdown, 27.7 fantasy points on volume, 24.7 on volume, 26.1 on volume, and has not yet accrued a DraftKings 100-yard bonus for us at all. Christian McCaffrey is absurd and has trended towards being unlucky with his fantasy points. There is certainly a 35 to 40 point fantasy day upcoming for him. I'm not saying it is certainly going to be this week. And yes, Cam Newton being there could possibly vulture a touchdown from him, but he got tackled 2 times on the 1 last week. 2 plays that could have easily ended up being touchdowns for him. And look, if you're going to have an improvement at quarterback going to Cam, assuming that Cam is better than PJ Walker, and basically either of them are better for that offense than what Sam Darnold was providing the first 8-9 weeks of the season. As long as the offense is on the field and continuing to get first downs, that's just better for Christian McCaffrey. The more plays they run, the more snaps they get, the more touches he gets. The more touches he gets, he is just an amazing player with the football and does everything you need for fantasy. Clyde EdwardsHelaire, 5,200 this week. So Reed said that he has a good chance to return on Sunday against the Cowboys, the old carnival versus the new carnival. If he is not back, then Darrell Williams at 5,400 is the play. If he is back, I don't know what to tell you, because Williams has played well enough to warrant staying on the field. If he is out, if EdwardsHelaire is out, then Darrell Williams, a 5-box running back once again. If Helaire is back this week, I think that puts everything in, it muddies the entire situation. I think that we could theoretically see like 12 to 13 touches for CEH and 12 to 13 touches for Williams, which makes it a worse Broncos in terms of running back split, right? We don't like the split going on in Denver right now with MG3, who has shown that he is still a talented back in this league, and Javonte Williams, who I think is one of the more talented backs in this league, but is not getting the volume. Fantasy is about volume over talent. Opportunity is greater than talent. Now, when talent meets opportunity, amazing things can happen. If Javonte Williams was getting 20 to 25 touches a game, I think he's going to explode, but he's not. And just like that, if EdwardsHelaire and Williams, who I believe has earned the touches that he has gotten, and when CH comes back, should not just be relegated. If both of them are splitting, one's getting 50% of the running back snaps and the other one's getting 45, I think it kind of removes them from this list. So pay attention to that situation and monitor it as the week goes on. Other non-5-box running backs this week, DeAndre Swift, coming off of 36 touches last week. 33 carries, 6 targets, 3 receptions. remains a great play this week. Now, if I'm playing a Cleveland running back, I'm probably not playing DeAndre Swift in that lineup. If you want to break that rule and play 2 running backs instead, go ahead. I tend to not break that or break it very sparingly. So DeAndre Swift has just been consistent for us all season long. And he's the only consistent point that exists in terms of his volume and expectation for this Lions offense. Now, it was unfortunate for him that in the 36 touches that he got, the other running backs that came in and touched the ball like 5 times broke 50-yard runs. So, like, no disrespect to Swift. It just kind of sucked for anybody that rostered him that you got vultured out of those 2 touchdowns last week. But Swift remains a good play for us here. Myles Gaskin, another good play here because of the matchup against the New York Jets, who are very, 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 very bad. Gaskin, behind this offensive line, is not able to get much done, but we have the movable force versus the resistible object this week with the Jets' run defense against the Miami offensive line. With as much as Gaskin has been used in the absence of Malcolm Brown, we have good usage in the passing game. He is going to be their goal line back for whatever that is worth, and there's not that many places on this team for the ball to go, so at 5,700 against the Jets, we do have a winning expectation. And speaking of the Jets, Michael Carter is also fine in that situation, but more of a bring back play if you're playing Miami stacks or double stacks. I'd be interested in using him as the lone guy. And the final guy, AJ Dillon, playing for an injured Aaron Jones, stepping into a high volume role in a high octane offense as the primary lead back. Last week, 23 touches. He has shown that he is more capable in the passing game than previously given credit for. And Aaron Jones has been dropping a lot of balls this year. So if Dillon's going to get 18 plus carries and a very realistic 4 or 5 targets in this game, 6,200, even though they're on the road, they are favored by 3 in this spot. Vikings defense has been tough, but not like they're a middling defense. They're not anything that you need to be totally scared of. I like this game for shootout possibilities, and Dillon has got to be in your player pool this week. So those are my top running backs for the week. If there was somebody that I did not mention, it does not mean that they are out of play. Feel free to drop them in the replies down below. You don't have to put in that comment though, what, no love for fill in the blank? Like sometimes I just don't, I'm not going to talk about every running back, guys. It's okay. The guys you like, they're going to be fine. I promise. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a like, subscribe to the video, leave a reply. Look out for another one right there.
He's a legend.